we're finally getting into the moderation commands, and I haven't uploaded in a while. I was actually having some issues with my PC, some technical issues, but all of those are out of the way now. Now we can get to the moderation commands. So first I actually want to talk about something. So the Scratch for Discord, I recently discovered there are actually new versions. So the versions will be listed down below. So, and there's also a new app. So I'll leave the app download down below too. So this the Scratch for Discord new app. It used to be like just a plain like website, but now it looks really different. There's settings. You can change all these, and that and the store. I'm pretty sure the store is coming soon because nothing's really loading in here because there's nothing in the store. And then this is the slash command GUI, and yes, sometimes I don't know why they should fix this bug, and sometimes just says captcha failed, and then it doesn't work. So, and there's also different workspaces. That's my workspace for my own cut, and you can also change the Scratch server. So by default, it's just like Scratch for Discord .netlify.app, I'm pretty sure, or something like that. But there are actually the links to the new version. So if you go to the website, uh, this is the actual like deploy preview 425 slash for discord.netlify.app, and then there are new categories. So embed slash register context, edited buttons, and those are all. But I think I don't think there's anything else that's new except the reason. You can add a reason for that, and that's actually a coincidence because we're going over the moderation commands today. Nothing new in rules, nothing new in anything else except this, the channel time. I don't really know what that is. If someone can explain it, that would be nice. But I don't think there is anything else. Oh, and also over here you can shut down the bot. That's new. And you can set a streaming URL, and you can type a status, like a type of status. So it's even online, idle, do not disturb, or invisible. And custom status is like the text version. So over here, there are three previews that I know about. The first one is 371. 371 is focused on buttons and menus, so it doesn't have like the slash commands and the edited or anything, but there's still embed, added, but deleted buttons, menu, and webhook. And the 425 is usually the most used. 425 is usually the most used. So if you open 425, that's the one we just saw. The register slash, and 425 focuses on slash commands. So in 325, I mean in 371, there were webhooks. There aren't webhooks in here, and there were menus too, and there aren't any menus in here either. There's also one thing called 437, I think. I'm pretty sure it's 437. So yeah, that one is kind of confusing though, because there's different versions of Discord.js, and 371. The people who use 371 is wants a new version of it, because 371 was on Discord.js version 12, but pretty soon Discord.js version 12 is going to be unsupported. So 437 is basically just 371, but like with Discord.js v13. There are a few extra ones, like in buttons you can do this. Like there are a few extra blocks, but the main idea is still the same. So I don't know if they're gonna be updating that anytime soon, or like making new previews. but for this video we're going to be using 425. So just set your server to 425 and then click open Scratch. So let's get started. First of all, the kick command. So wait, I don't actually think it. I don't think it's saved. And slash commands. We're gonna be doing a tutorial on slash commands pretty soon. So I was gonna wait for it because I felt like it was a little too advanced. So we would get the simple ones out of the way and then do the advanced ones. But I just realized like the ones that we're doing right now, you might want to do it as a slash command instead. So it would be better if we do it early so you can make the future ones with slash commands. But this one we're not doing in slash commands, we're doing just a normal message. So you can actually do a command handler. So import a command handler and then put your bot token in. And in the command, do your prefix. For me, it's minus, and then kick. Or you can customize this command. You can say it whatever you want, but I would recommend kick because that's what most people do. And you can do these. Those are just the examples. And then in kick, we're gonna add a few more ifs. So the first if is gonna be if the member message author has permission. The second if is gonna be if the bot itself has permission. The third if is if they mentioned a member. And yeah, that's it. So, and then also another if actually, we're gonna see if that mentioned member is a member of the server. Actually, we don't need that one. We can just do both of them in this one. So yeah, in the first one, just go to member and then put in that. If the member message author has permission, kick members. And then make sure to add else's by clicking on this blue dot. Add some else's to all of them. So if the member message author has permission, kick members. Else, you can reply, you need permission to kick members. And then the second one is gonna be in the bot permissions. So go to your Discord client. Copy your bot's ID, and you actually need developer mode on for this. So go to your user settings and go to advanced and make sure developer mode is on. So right click and then click copy ID, and then just over here just duplicate this and then delete message author and replace it with get the member with the ID equal to, and then put your bot's ID on server, message server. So we're basically just checking if the member with the ID equal to the bot ID, which is just our bot, has permission to kick members. Else, we're gonna reply, it's just gonna be the same thing as this, but instead of you, I'm gonna change it to I. So I need permission to kick members. And you can customize these messages however you want. And the third if is gonna be, I'm gonna add an and to here. So if the member, well, if equals to, so put if get member with the, well actually no, mention member, I mean. If mention member does not equal null, so make sure this is not like a, yeah, just change this to a does not equal to. And in the second one, you can just, it's easier to just duplicate that and then make this does not, yeah, say it still does not, and Well, actually, we don't really need this because if they're mentioning a member, they're already on the server. So you actually don't need the end. So just if not mention member equals null. And if you don't know what null is basically just nothing. Null means that it doesn't exist. So if mention member does exist, that's basically what this is saying. And else, I'm gonna reply, you need to mention a member to kick. And then if all of those ifs are good, if everything's good and everything's right, then it will kick the member. So go to member and then kick member. So kick member, mention member, and reason. I'm just gonna put my own customized reason, but if you want, if you know how to add a third argument, that's a little advanced, but not too advanced, but I'm gonna review that in a future tutorial. So right now I'm just gonna keep it like this, banned by tag of member message offer. And then I'm gonna actually reply. And I would recommend making this an embed. You don't have to, but I would recommend it. So in preview 4.5, it's a little different. Embeds are a little different. Before we could just drag the message embed block and then add everything, but over here we have to create new embed, then set embed color. I'm gonna set it to red, and set embed title. Actually, I'm not gonna do a title for this. I'm just gonna do a description. You can make the other one whatever you want. You can add fields, blank field, a timestamp. I'm gonna add a timestamp actually. So this and this. The timestamp is actually like a thing in the footer. So yeah, it's something in the footer. It just says like today at time. So for me it would be today at 2:46 p.m. because it's that for me right now. This one's also optional, but I usually like doing this too. You can DM the member. So send, create text bit. I'm gonna add a few more items, and it's gonna say you were kicked from the server. Name of the server of the message. So that's it for the kick one. If you have one of them, it's pretty easy to do the ban. You just do duplicate and then change certain things. Okay. So now comes the warn. So warn is a little more complicated. We have to use something called the database. So these are the database blocks. So I'll just do it and then you can follow along. So when a message is received, actually we need a command. I would recommend doing a command handler. And then where is it? Okay, there it is. And change the command to warn. And then you need to check the permissions. For this, I'm just gonna do 2 of them. I'm gonna make it kick members because we're gonna make it so that if they get over 5 warns, then they get kicked from a server. So it's gonna be set create text width, and then at the beginning put warns. This is just like an indicator in the database. Warns a dash, or you don't have to put the dash, but I would recommend it. And that's not your prefix, by the way. That's like it's dash, not your the dash is not your prefix. And warns put in the first one, put ID of the server of the message, and then put another dash in between, and then put ID of member message author, and then set this to 0, but you have to put this inside an if actually. So put if not exists in database, and make sure to put it inside a get, like that. So what we're doing over here, so it's saying if warns doesn't exist in the database for that member, or actually we have to change this to mention member, not message author. I'm making a lot of mistakes. Yeah, make sure it's mention member, not message author, or else it's just gonna add a warn to the person who did the command. So if the warns for that mention member doesn't exist in database, then we're creating one and setting it to 0. And then outside of that if, we're gonna put add 1 to, so we're adding one warn to, and make sure you have the get. So get warns from the for the mention member from the database. So a database is basically just a way to store things. You can store whatever you want. So if you think about it, everyone, of course, every server has a different ID, and so does every member. So for each time someone's warning somebody, if that member doesn't have their warn stored in the database, then it creates a new one. So the database would look like on the thing, like on the text, it's basically just JSON file. So on the file, it would just, in text, it would write warns dash server of the message dash ID of member mention member. And the more of these you add, the more specific it would be. So for example, if I delete the server of the message, the server ID, then it would only be mention member. So it wouldn't be specific to each server. It would just be for each member, and if they get more warns in one server, then they would get kicked in every server. So we don't want that, so I'll just add that back. And similarly, if I remove the mention member, it would be the same for every server, and it just wouldn't work. So it's adding one warn to there, and then we're gonna reply. Well, actually, I'll do the if right now. So add another if, and put the equals from the equal logic, and if get warns from the database, and make sure it's greater than or equal to. And then this is the number of warns that will get kicked after they get. So I'm just gonna do 5. So if it's 5, they're gonna get kicked after they get 5 warns. You can make this whatever number you want. So if the warns is greater than or equal to 5, then it will kick member, mention member, for the reason had got 5 warns from a staff member. And then else, add an else. So after it adds that to the database, if it already goes over 5, then kick the member. But if it doesn't go over 5, like if they didn't reach 5 yet, I'm just gonna do a simple like warn notification. So I'm just gonna do create text with mention member has been warned. They will get kicked if they get 5 warns. And then I should add a reply over there too. So a mentioned member has been kicked from the server for getting 5 ones. And I would recommend making these in embed. I just made it plain text to make it faster, but you can do whatever you want with it. So yeah, this is the warn command, this is the ban command, and that's the kick command. So the next tutorial will be slash commands. So I was planning to do something else, but since I discovered the slash commands and the buttons and everything, I decided to do the slash commands next. So it's pretty simple. We have a few members. I'm pretty sure we have like 15 or 16 members. So I'm really proud of our Discord server because we have 16 members and like 15 subscribers. I don't even know how that's possible, but we have 15 members and 15 subscribers and 16 members. So like each of our subscribers are in our Discord server. So if you want to join, you can join and make us get more popular, and you can do self promo. You can share your bot, and if you're having any errors in Replit or anything, you can ask some questions in questions, and you can just chat if you want. And we actually have two of our members in our server are actually the S4D creators, Stratford Discord creators. This Mr. Rido, he's an S4D developer who actually like makes the app, makes the website or the app, and Jollybean. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today. And also make sure to add my bot Sambot. It's actually currently under maintenance, but um, not for a bad reason though. I'm actually rewriting all of the commands to have slash commands and buttons, so that's why it's offline right now. Well, it's not offline, but it's just none of the commands will work. So just make sure to add Sambot, and I'll see you in the next video.